So parkour is definitely a sport that a ton of people are curious about because, I mean, after all, literally everyone in the entire earth has seen a video of just like people being stupid and jumping like between rooftops doing parkour and stuff. And I say they're stupid because I feel like these videos really paint just a super inaccurate picture of what parkour actually is. Because yeah, of course, some athletes are gonna film themselves jumping on rooftops because let's be honest, it's a good clip, especially for like Instagram or whatever. But the vast majority of parkour is done in a completely safe environment that is very different from this. Parkour can be trained outside literally wherever you are, be it city, the country, the beach, the gulag, like literally anywhere you want, you can train parkour. It seems the misconception about parkour is that it has to be done in the city, in the concrete jungle or whatever. And while this is a very fun place to do parkour because a lot of the time there's really interesting architectural environments, it's far from the only place where you can train. The reason it's kind of thought that concrete would be the best environment for parkour is because, like I said, the architecture is very interesting. It's a lot easier to jump between stuff, but also because stuff like brick and concrete tend to grip really well on shoes, and you can, you know, jump between them easier without worrying about falling. And then of course it's a lot more sturdy than something like wood if you're in the woods or whatever. But this really doesn't need to be a handicap for people that don't live in the city, because you can adjust actually any environment to do parkour in. Like me, for example, I don't even live near a city. The closest city I live next to is like a half hour away, and I do parkour just fine. And hell, that makes it so when I actually do go to the city to do parkour, it's just that much more fun. And I think this idea of parkour only being done in cities on like rooftops and whatnot has really damaged its kind of, you know, reputation, like just in general. For example, look at this clip right here I'm about to show you. It went really viral a couple months ago. I think it was a couple months ago now. And just so many people I know who don't do parkour have showed it to me, because I'm pretty sure everyone in the entire world has seen this. Dude, like my teachers will show this shit to me and like be concerned because they know I do parkour or whatever. The thing is, the reason this particular clip went viral is, well, A, because the guy almost fucking died. Another reason is because it's just so far outside of the norm. So of course it's going to be different from all the other parkour clips out there. Because the reality is 99.999% of people who do parkour and 100% of people who don't live in Russia are not doing all this crazy shit on top of rooftops. Like with this many views, however many views it has now, probably in the hundreds of millions, at least tens of millions, you can only imagine that at least a certain percentage of the people that saw that, their only paradigm of parkour is just people almost killing themselves. And that's a real problem when it comes to parkour's reputation and how many people want to get into trying. You could kind of take this as a good thing, because with that reputation, when I tell people I do parkour, they probably think I'm way more badass than I actually am. So as someone who's been doing it for a while, I don't mind the self-image. But on the flip side, flip. Oh shit. This incorrect perception of parkour makes people so much less likely to try it, because if your only view of parkour is like doing the stupidest shit you possibly can for an Instagram reel, would you really want to try that? I mean, me personally, I'm crazy, so I probably would. That's why I got into parkour, because it's just so fucking stupid. Or at least I thought it was at the time. But even me, as the best tracer to ever grace the face of the earth, you won't catch me like jumping on, you know, buildings and shit like for a reel. My reels are mostly flips anyway, so go follow me. And I think this is definitely one of the biggest problems as to why parkour isn't really mainstream, like why not a lot of people do it. So the whole point of this channel is to try and hopefully spread the message that, you know, you can do it wherever you are. You don't need to be risking your life to train parkour. In fact, parkour is extremely good for you. It's a good way to exercise, and it's a good way to increase your bodily awareness, as is any other sport. I mean, if you look at the definition of parkour, it's the most efficient way to get from point A to point B, meaning you can do it anywhere. So if you want to learn about how you can go do parkour in your own backyard, if you don't already do it, then you can go watch this video right here where I explain how you can do that.